Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our daily word today. Today's Tuesday, December 21st. Glad you could join me for a few minutes together again today. It's a beautiful day out this morning. This morning, I am at Carter and Hudson's house watching them for a while this morning as we hang out together. Dustin has some corn to haul, or beans, I'm not sure which it is. I think it's corn. And so I'm here hanging out with them and preparing for Christmas Eve. Hopefully, you'll join us Friday night for Christmas Eve, 7:30 and 11 o'clock. There'll be candlelight and carols and scripture, so hopefully you'll join us as we worship together on Christmas Eve. And then Sunday morning, we're going to be downstairs in the fellowship hall at 10:15. It's going to be very casual. It won't last a horrible long time, but you're welcome to join us on Sunday morning, the day after Christmas. I know it's a tough day, so if you can join us, that would be great. If not, I certainly understand. We all have lots going on in our lives. I have, as I said yesterday in my email, I have several Advent boxes of food that I need taken to the neighbors. I would do it myself, and it looks like, based on no volunteers so far, I'm going to be doing it myself. So it's going to be an interesting challenge, me carrying those boxes around. But we'll get them delivered one way or the other. So I've chosen for this morning our text from the Gospel of Luke as we continue, as we have, and going to continue in church and in worship on Sunday mornings and Christmas Eve, to hear from Luke as he shares with us his story of the birth of Jesus and all the stories that are within stories, and how he also uses Isaiah to remind us of the story. So, from Luke chapter 3, verse 4, we just hear these simple words. As it is written in the book of the words of the prophet Isaiah, a voice of one crying out in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord, make straight his paths. So I was thinking about this text early this morning, and while I was in physical therapy, while I was on the ice packs, I was thinking about all the things, our conversation at therapy this morning surrounded all the preparations, and we talked a lot about meals and what people like and don't like to eat on the holidays, and family gatherings and traveling. The question always is, are you ready? Well, the answer is no. We're never ready, and people dreading going to the store and all of these things. And I got to thinking when I was laying there for those 10 minutes listening to the conversations that were going on in the therapy room, and then the conversations that we'd already had in the previous hour or so. I got to thinking about, in light of this text, what's the clutter in our lives that keeps us from preparing the way, for making straight paths? What's the clutter? We all have it, right? There's plenty of clutter to go around. It could be physical clutter. We're not ready yet at our house. I know that I'm not. I know that I need to clean and run the sweeper and do all those kind of things to get ready for our gatherings. It could be lots of physical clutter, presents to wrap. It could be emotional clutter. We know that this season can be difficult for us as we struggle, as we wonder about our lives, and we experience the grief that we have in the midst of this. It could be physical clutter. If you're like me, I was just sitting on the floor with Carter. He was bound determined I was sitting on the floor, so I was sitting on the floor with Carter, and we sat there for a little while, and I finally gave up. But we have all this clutter in our lives, and I wonder, for us, what's the clutter that we can clear out, that we really can clear out, to make more room in our lives for the coming of the Christ? Maybe it's too late, I know, but to get the work done ahead. The physical clutter that's in my life, can't really do much about it. But what is it in us that keeps us from really preparing the way, from really crying out in this wilderness, trying to prepare in our own lives to make a place for the holy, a holy space for the coming of the Christ child. I think there's two things that the scripture calls us to. One, it's personal, right? It's in this season that we're called to make space in our lives. Maybe, just maybe, for all of us and for the folks at Therapy, we have to just reach a point, and maybe today's the day, I don't know. We reach a point where we say, I've done all I can do. There's nothing more I'm going to get accomplished. Things are like they are. That would be one way to prepare the way. What is it in us that we can just be settled with to know that we're preparing the way for the coming of the Holy, the Christ in our lives? Then I think it's also, the corporate kind of way, the community kind of way, the public kind of way. What is it that we can do? Hi, Bubby. Your tummy hurts? Okay, let me get done, and then we'll get something to eat, okay? You want to sit on my lap? No? Okay. What is it that we can do to help clear the space for others, to help make way in the holy in their lives as we live our lives? And I think that's... What, Bubby? I see that. And that's an important thing. Oh, gosh. That's an important thing for us to do as we live our lives. We are called to prepare the way.
What iPad is?
I don't know. We'll look in a minute, okay? Let me get done with this, okay? We're called to prepare the way in the midst of the wilderness of chaos and rush schedules and commercial chatter, and be reminded, that hope, peace, joy, and love goes with us. Oh no. Okay. Is with us. Hope, peace, joy, and love, they become critical as a part of our Advent survival guide, if you will. Guiding us through the distractions, guiding us through the wilderness, reminding us of this really singular task in our lives. And that singular task is to prepare the way. Isaiah reminds us, the voice of one crying in the desert, prepare the way of the Lord, make straight his paths. That's the singular task for us. It's personal, it's public, it's all around us, it's in and through us. The things undone can remain undone. Gifts unbought can remain unbought. Groceries unbought, we'll fill in with other things. Our task in this holiest of seasons is to prepare the way. And I think we do that personally, really importantly. And that's important for us as we make our way through this season of Advent. So I hope that in all the things that demand our time, that we find ways in our lives to prepare the way for the coming of the Christ child in our lives, to somehow, if you will, clear out the clutter of our lives so that we could make room for the coming of the Christ. And then when we make room, our lives are changed and we experience this holy moment, these holy days, in a new way. So I pray that for you and for me, we'll find ways to clear the clutter and to prepare the way and allow the Christ to be born again in our lives. So know of God's love that surrounds you. Know of God's mercy and grace and peace. Know my love for all of you. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Have a great day.